you hold on to special assessment funds indefinitely if you're not using them? In this video, two of our experts answer that question. Welcome to this HOAleader.com video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco, and today I'm joined by Kaylee Long of Michigan and Matt Zifroni of Florida. This month, we're answering an HOAleader.com reader's question. They're in a Florida association. They say owners were assessed $2.4 million about 3 years ago for rebuilding the community seawall. There was a dispute over whether it was the association's responsibility. That court issue still isn't resolved, and the money has sat in an account earning what the reader says is almost no interest. And then recently, their board reallocated 250,000 of those funds to an elevator project. Then they did that again. So the money from the seawall assessment continues to sit in an account. Our reader says not making much interest, tagged for a project that seems like it's in a bit of a limbo. So our reader says, yes, our bylaws do allow reallocation of funds, but they're still wondering if this is proper. So we'll take this in two parts. In this video, we ask, can a board continue to hold on to owners' special assessment money for a project that's a bit in limbo? Just a note, our experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state. This is intended to provide you with general guidance you can use when you approach an expert in your state. So with that in mind, Matt, in Florida, if you special assessed for, say, a seawall project and it's in limbo, does that money have to sit untouched indefinitely?
Pretty much all the decisions that the board makes are governed by what's called the business judgment rule. So if they use sound business judgment in making the decisions, then it's very difficult to question those decisions. With that context and that background, if they do not believe that this project is going to be happening anytime soon, I think it would be more difficult for them to justify holding on to the owner's money indefinitely. There does come a point in time where they have to, we're in Florida, fish or cut bait, and decide, are they going to be moving forward with this project or not? And if they're not moving forward with the project, they should be doing something different with the money that they're holding.
Okay, let's talk about that in the next video. What can they do in the with that money? But Kaylee, in Michigan, is there sort of a reasonable time period that ends on this kind of situation?
So, Michigan, we don't have anything in our condominium act that addresses reallocation of special assessments. And many condominium documents actually don't discuss this. And I think the common advice that you will get is special assessments, when they are typically passed by Michigan condominiums, are for a specific purpose. And so I think that associations will find themselves in a hard place to try to reallocate those special assessments to a different project because the owners specifically voted for those special assessments to go and fund a specific project. But I think, as Matt said, at some point, that money's just sitting there, and the board might need to make a decision on what to do with it. I do think maybe, though, this might lend itself to a question of perhaps the board may have been better guided by a reserve study, and perhaps they made a call too early on this project, and maybe they would have been better suited to pursue a different repair or replacement project that was better prioritized. And it may be perhaps their decision, they just jumped the gun too early on this project, and maybe they should have made a decision on an earlier project instead.
Meaning they shouldn't have special assessed for this one because it wasn't definite, and that maybe they should have waited longer for that specific special assessment.
Right. A reserve study could have identified for them the timing, the ordering of the projects that they would have needed to engage in. And perhaps it would have identified for them, hey, this is not the project to engage in at this particular time. Maybe you should engage in these other projects. And so that might have perhaps alleviated this problem of maybe don't special assess this at this particular time, so you don't end up in this situation of special assessing money that then ends up just sitting around. You have co-owners or owners who are upset with you because they've paid the money, but they're not seeing any results.
Right. Okay, great information. Kaylee and Matt, thank you. Listeners, please be sure to click on the link below to watch the additional extended video where these experts discuss what should happen to funds collected when there are legitimate delays on a specially assessed project. And then we go back to allocation, a little more detail on allocation.